Howdy y'all, thank you for joining me today for this unboxing of a Kickstarter I just got in. Bedeville Carnival, fear not, have fun. This is the collector's box. As you can see here, it's a game where basically it's a game about like your undead who are going to their own carnival to have fun. From what I remember here, you can see here it is a game for ages 12 plus. Takes about 45 minutes to play for 2 to 4 players. So we're going to take a look at this. It does mention there's 2 gameplay variants: run away from Mr. Carl and chase away the mean flea bag. So we'll check out and see what that's all about. Let's take a look at this. I don't remember much about this game. From what I remember about it, it basically was just one of a slew of theme park based games. And this one just had a different twist on it where you're undead trying to have fun at a carnival. And from what I remember, it's supposed to be whoever has the most fun wins. So see if I remember more as I go through this. It lets us know here contents of the box, and this is the collector's box, so there's supposed to be more stuff in here. You can see kind of the setup page, and you can kind of see how the rules are laid out. I mean, looks pretty easy laid out as far as not real dense text. And I mean, 4 pages of rules, so that could be either a good thing or a bad thing. Then it just goes into the description of the character abilities. And then it's got the gameplay variant for beginners. And then it goes into details about the attractions. And then other components. Cool. Next, it kind of has here on, oh, it feels like multi-pages. Let me see. Yeah, alright, so here it's got basically the collector's box extra components, and it kind of lets you know here the extra components that will be different in this box and the extra characters and whatnot. And then inside of this, because I noticed it opens up, it basically just goes into more description about some of that extra stuff here. And since this is extra stuff, kind of go over this slowly to where you can pause it. That way you can read to see if it's something you want to add in, or if you are interested in getting a copy to see if this is something you want added in, if you want to go grab the collector's box. Sorry, I'm just grabbing this a little bit better there. Cool. And I noticed this, I noticed they had screens up, but then they had these little coffins, so it looks like you have to put these coffins together. So I'll go ahead and punch one of those and have it off to the side, and I'll put it together here at the end. Show you what it looks like. But you can see they got ones for each. Looks like the colors are blue, red, yellow, and green. Then we have the player board here. Let me zoom out to where we can see the better look at the player board. As you can see here, looks like you're going to have the spots probably where you're going to be standing. And then there's going to be cards that'll be here, which will be the attractions that you are visiting. And I'll give a closer look at all this, but while we're zoomed out, to show you the artwork on the back of the board. But cool. Try to hold this kind of zoomed in where you can kind of see the detail a little bit more on the board. So you can see the artwork on the actual board. of this Bedeville Carnival. But cool. Alright, let's get back into it. There's a little baggie here. It's actually a nicer bag. Like I was seeing this, I was a little worried it'd be like one of those plastic with a screen with a print on it. I should say, but it's actually not a bad little bag. So got a nice little baggie here. Space for each of the coffins when they're built. Alright. Looks like we have a divider for everything. We have the player boards, or the screens I should say, in the colors we're talking about: blue, green, red, and yellow. And I'll just open these up and kind of show which, don't know if that's done on purpose, but or if these are out wrong. Yeah, even in the book it kind of shows these are kind of bent wrong. I don't know if they're supposed to be bent this way. If that's in the book, it shows like that's facing out, which is what's normal. So I thought maybe they just went this way, that way, you know, because if this is sitting down, typically if you need to read something, you're going to have to do that, which might be revealing some stuff behind here. So I thought maybe they just had it out like that to where you can read other people's without having to. But yeah, these are either bent wrong or maybe I'm just overthinking that, because yeah, inside the book it does show them bent this way. So take that for what it is. We got some metal coins here with different artwork on them. Show you all, these are the different sides. Sorry if the glare is a little weird on those, but you can see they all have a different token, but all the other side is all the same, which is the clown face we saw on the bag, which I just realized I have upside down there. But yeah, so I mean, some little metal coins or tokens. We have something that I'm going to assume is the first player. Yep, first player marker here. Let's take a look at that. But you can see it's a metal first player token or first player ticket. Shiny. We got some cards which we'll take a closer look at. Looks like it gives us some sleeves for those bigger cards. Actually, sleeves for for all the cards, and then we got some smaller cards to look at. Like I said, we'll zoom in and look at all those with a closer look, along with each of these, which are the standees. We just have some green plastic cubes, and then the stands for the standees. And we'll take a closer look at that. It looks like just probably the resources. All right, let's take a closer look at all that. And I'm going to go ahead and show before I even try to fold this. I noticed a little disappointed. I'm hoping that once it's held together, I mean, I'm sure I can just get some Elmer's glue or something. But this thing's already starting to rip and fall apart. And then now I'm going to have to sit here and fold it. So I'm hoping that once it's folded and held together that won't be as noticeable. But a little disappointed about that. Just wanted to show it before I start trying to fold things here. Because you can tell nothing else is, well, I guess that's already started folding. But yeah, that just already started ripping. Like, I don't want to show it off too much just because it might rip worse. But let's go ahead and put this together. Yeah, it's the only thing I can say for sure. This is where it was at. And, I mean, once I've got it together, it looks like it's okay. But you can see it's a little weak there. But even then, you want to be careful, because just in popping this over, I didn't even move it much and it started ripping a little bit. So when you're putting these together, you want to be a little bit careful on that, I would say. And then, because of how that easy that is, that worries me about these little doors like this. So I don't know how much these are going to have to be open and closed, because that does worry me a little bit, just because that's all that's here is just that. So let's hope that's not too much, especially if I end up liking this game a lot, because then I might have to see if I can't find some type of screen printed or something thing. But little suitcase or coffin to keep your stuff in. And as we showed, there's going to be a spot for each of those. Then we have a bag of these little skull heads in pink, yellow, and blue. I'm going to assume these are the joy that you're trying to collect victory point wise. And maybe each one's worth certain points. I did notice, or that might be the resources maybe. I don't know. Because it does show those on the board there in the different colors. So it's probably more of the resources. But there's a baggie of those in plastic. Alright, I'll try to show all these. I ain't going to stay on them too long. But you can see these are the resin standees, which I really do like these. I am starting to prefer games that go this route over the miniatures, as much as I do like miniatures. One, I have to get them painted, which I can either paint them myself or get someone else to paint them. But two, with these standees, they don't take up as much space. So I can just have one box I need to carry around instead of a whole extra box with miniatures. So I really do like going to these. While miniatures are nice, the detail you can get into these and save on space too, I just would rather have and like a lot more. There's the standees. As far as the cards, the small ones, these are the size sleeves you're going to need. Like I said, this collector's box came with some for me already, but if you're not getting the collector's box, I'm sure these are going to be some cards, and this is going to be the size you're going to need for the small cards. But you can see the small cards here. Fear not, have fun. And this looks like, yeah, so I'm assuming those are resources, and you're going to be using those resources to turn them in for these victory points, as you can see here in the corner. I'm assuming that's the fun that you're having. Or maybe these are the fun and you're just turning them into the victory points. But that would be my guess without having played the game. I am thinking about changing up on these videos a little bit. And instead of just doing a straight unboxing without knowing the game, going ahead and playing it and then just showing an unboxing with everything, and then that way I could talk about it more, but that'll be something down the road. These say all the same stuff. Bedeville Carnival, fear not, have fun. I do believe these are the characters with their abilities. So I'll try to pause on these. That way, or at least hesitate enough to where you can pause if you want to read. And I should state, I didn't notice it on the small ones, but I'm sure they are. These do have a nice linen finish on them. And they're nice cards. So, as far as the size here, it might be the oversized. I think you're going to be a little. I think these are a little bit bigger than the oversizes. I want to say the size is typically 7120, but I could be way off on that. So, I wouldn't take that to the bank. These look a little bit larger than the oversizes, but I could be wrong. Bedeville Carnival, don't fear the... And I'm assuming that's what these are. These are the attractions that will go into the board here. And I'm assuming that's what will vary in each game. Cool. Well, that seems to be everything. So you can see it looks like everything's got its own spot. And since the sleeves came with this in the game, it does look like those will go in there sleeved and be fine. And then everything else seems to just go in here. And then I noticed also like the coffins once we do that. And then I noticed it looked like, yeah, they even have slots in here to where this board will sit in here like such. And then it does look like once the board's in there, this is going to be fairly flush to where you don't have to worry about this popping up. If not, it looks like there was only 2 cardboard punch outs. And yeah, I went ahead, I took one of those cardboard punch outs, put it underneath here already, underneath the insert, and that makes it to where you can see once you take the rule book, it's at least flush with that. I mean, there's a little bit of gap there, but that shouldn't matter because that's where those coffins are. So, yeah. Looks like you use... And even then, I don't know if you even need to use one of these punch outs. Only because I'm going to go ahead and punch those so that they don't rip anymore. But even if you don't use that punch out, I do think that's enough. I think there was enough of a lip there where it shouldn't matter. But if you want to make it flush, you'll just need one of these, it looks like. But all in all, seems like a cool game I want to try out. So thank you for watching and have a great day.